Hey everyone, this is Rob over here at BuneBape and hope you're having an amazing day. Today I'll quickly be bringing you some information from the dev blog, some very exciting information from the dev blog. So there's going to be a lot of stuff to go over in this video. I'm hopefully going to give it to you as quick and concise as I possibly can. But if you do want to follow along or just check out the dev blog for yourself, all the information that I might be skipping over, then I will have the links in the description as always. So feel free to check those out, as well as the timestamps. If you want to skip around the video, save yourself some time, that's totally cool. They'll be down there as well. So without further ado, let's jump straight into the dev blog. All right, so for this dev blog, there is some huge news. Shout out to Zinramu, the dev from New World, for giving us this great Christmas gift. But as you can see here, there is going to be 3 big changes, including improvements to the endgame gear progression, increasing rewards from the endgame activities, and also tuning difficulty of the endgame content. So I'm going to be going over all that right now. The first system is huge, so expertise and gypsum system. So we'll first start by saying high watermark is no more. So do a little dance, you know, celebrate, pop some champagne, whatever you need to do, because it is going away. It is done. So honestly, that was a terrible system, and I think it's really good, a really good idea that they're ripping off the band-aid now, because that wouldn't have lasted. It's not a good system. I don't think anyone ever thought it was a good system, and it seems like they've been working on this for quite some time. So it's nice that after all the radio silence for, you know, days and days, that they've coming out with, you know, hitting really hard with these with this big dev blog. So let's go over it right now. It says that this is going to be the new and improved high watermark system called Expertise. So that's going to be the new name. It says in the December update. So, you know, in not too far from now, maybe a couple weeks from now, it says in the December update, Expertise will govern the highest drops you can get per slot, much like the high watermark did. So it also goes on to say that starting in early 2022, so you are going to have a little bit of a gap in between when Expertise comes out and when this next sentence takes effect. It says it will also govern the effectiveness of your gear. So you are going to have some time to farm up, because it says that this means that if your Warhammer, this is just an example, it says if your Warhammer expertise is 520 and you equip a 550 gear score Warhammer, let's say you buy it, the weapon's effective gear score will actually be reduced to 520, because that's all you've ever unlocked by playing the game. So that's the way I interpreted it. Let me know what you think down below. I think I had at least an hour-long conversation about this with my, you know, guildmates, clanmates. It was so long. I felt like they were getting so confused. I'm not even sure if I'm 100% right, but the way I thought about it is, let's say you are 500 watermark right now, but you have 600 gear equipped. That's perfectly fine, probably even kind of normal at this point. But if you never do any of the end game content, you just bought your gear, someone gave it to you, whatever, then that 600 gear is only going to have the stats of 500 gear whenever this system gets implemented. So that is the way I understand it. Let me know what you think down below in the comments. But I honestly think this is going to be great, because I mean, it's going to be good and bad, right? Like if you bought your gear, it's going to be unfortunate. If you don't have that much time to play, it's going to be unfortunate, because obviously you're going to be at a disadvantage. But hold on. There are going to be really good ways to get up your watermark. And like I said, I do think this is going to be a big step forward, and honestly a better system overall, which is why I'm glad they're doing it sooner than later. So hold off before you get too mad, and I'll hopefully try to make it seem a little bit better. They even say that they understand to some players this may result in a temporary reduction in power. So we believe in the long run this will result in more rewarding progression loops that can be bypassed by buying gear off the trading post. So, or that can't be bypassed rather. So that's how it is now. Obviously, like I just said, this is the case for a lot of people. You go, you buy gear, then you don't have to play the game anymore. They're trying to make it so that there's still reasons to play the game. I was just talking about this yesterday, actually. I think the progression system in the game currently is very underdeveloped, and this is going to be leaps and bounds better, at least just from the general consensus on my first go around as far as reading. It does say that a major improvement provided by expertise is that players' expertise per slot is displayed. So let's take a look. So this is the picture they provide. As you can see, I've seen a ton of mock-ups of this over on the Reddit throughout the weeks, but they actually finally did it. So that's pretty cool. It seems like maybe Reddit's having an influence or something, because this is almost exactly what I've seen before. But as you can see here, all this person is not wearing 520 gear. As you can see, some of the stuff is tier 3. So there's no shot that it's 520. But for argument's sake, they're saying that this person has full 520 available. So this is the 520 expertise per slot, and it's showing that each individual slot has its own expertise. So this person is wearing a 416 gear score, but their average expertise is 526. So they can have 520 gear drop for them in these slots. They just are only wearing 416. So that's what it looks like to me. And I like this overall system. I think it looks really clean, the way it shows for each piece of gear, and also your overall average expertise. So looks good to me. But again, let me know what you think about it in the comments below. Would be great to have other people's feedback. Moving on to the second part of this. So the second part was Gypsum. So Gypsum is a new item. It says this is the second major improvement we made. It's adding a way for players to control their gear. So that's why I told you to hold on with your angry comments, because this might make it a little bit cooler. Overall, I think the system is going to be better. So just give me a second. It says to achieve this, we introduced Gypsum. It's a new resource found by doing a variety of activities. Gypsum can be crafted into gypsum orbs, which can be turned into special caches, whatever you want to call it, called gypsum casts. Gypsum casts are gear type specific, and when opened, guarantee an expertise bump for that type of gear. So I don't know about you, I've done plenty of scorched runs and merc runs and never seen a single upgrade, but with this system, you are now guaranteed 1 upgrade per day. Unfortunately, I had to add the per day at the end there, but this is just one of many ways to get gear, so there's still more to come. So it says that by doing 7 different activities, you can, for example, if you want to increase your bow expertise, you can craft a bow cast with one of these 7 different ways. So it's pretty much by doing anything in the end game, including killing level 60 plus bosses, defeating Lazarus in the Garden of Genesis, Outpost Rush, trading skills, I'll get to that in a little bit, arena caches that aren't in the game yet because we don't have arena, as well as breach caches, and even killing just regular level 55 enemies have a chance to do it, but you need a special attunement potion and a tier 5 camp. So a little bit of a caveat, some new content there. So they go on to say that if you play for anywhere between 30 and 60 minutes, so not too long, shout out to all the casual players, you are going to get enough gypsum that it is going to allow you to craft a gypsum orb. And then after players get enough gypsum for an orb, they won't earn any more for 23 hours. So that's what I meant. It's essentially like the elite chest, but souped up, because you're going to guarantee get a piece. So it says that you can craft it once per day. Opening a gypsum cast will guarantee an expertise bump and reward players with a random piece of gear of that type, with the gear score equal to the new expertise level. So for instance, if you are playing for a while, you have 590 everything else, but you only have 510 ring, kind of like how I am now, then you can actually target the ring and you will probably get a trash ring, but it's going to be an upgrade and you are going to see that number go up. So that is a really nice system to get guaranteed spots. As far as it is right now, it is very hard, very, very hard to target, farm anything and get increases in any of your watermarks. So this new expertise system is looking nice to me, that's for sure. They do say that because you are guaranteed loot now, there is going to be some changes though. So they've tuned down the chance of getting expertise bumps to compensate for the guaranteed gypsum bumps, but they are also going to be reducing how much you get from elite chests as far as the chance to upgrade, as well as the chance to upgrade from open world enemies by a lot. So rest in peace all the boss farms. I mean, it's probably still going to be one of the best ways. It's just going to be a lot less of the best way, you know what I mean? So unfortunately, they are going to be nerfing that, but I took it as you can only, initially, I thought that you could only get upgrades using the gypsum system, but that's not the case. This is just in addition to, so you can still run Scorched Mines, Merc Guard, and even more so, they're adding more elite zones. So I'm going to get to that in just a second, but you can still farm all those to get your upgrades. This is just an additional guaranteed way to get an upgrade. So overall, it's looking good to me. If we do move down here to the reward improvements, it says that to ensure all our endgame activities provide compelling rewards for the effort and risk involved, we reviewed them and made some adjustments. So this is mainly going to be for expeditions. I'm pretty excited for this. Make sure you have some and save some. Get your stone cutting up. If anyone's been slacking like me, get your stone cutting up because this is going to be huge. It says for this round, we've focused on expeditions. Our goal is that expeditions are super rewarding experiences since they require a time investment to craft an orb and are challenging content. So makes sense. They've added 4 adjustments to make them more rewarding. So each expedition boss will guarantee a random expertise bump. Thank you, finally. So this is going to be a great thing to farm if you want to, again, get up all that stuff. All the best in slot gear comes from Genesis and Lazarus, or at least all of the really good, essentially best in slot gear. All the stuff that has, you know, your stacking, keen awareness, all that stuff is going to be on here. So make sure to, like I said, get all those Laz and Gen orbs. It also says that all the chests have a chance to give you endgame expertise bumps. No more 500 gear like it is now. This is a huge change. I'm not going to spoil it, but they are adding a new item called item shards as a guaranteed drop from expedition bosses and as a chance from elite chests. So I'll get to that in just a second. One thing I was slightly confused about. Let me know what you think in the comments below. It says added a guaranteed sapphire gypsum drop for each expedition boss. So if we go up, check it out. Sapphire gypsum drops from the last bosses, but it says it drops one for each. So let me know what you think. I don't know. I don't think it works this way, but the way they worded it kind of makes me think that you're going to get a sapphire gypsum from each boss, even more than the one per every 23 hours. But that's what it sounds like. I don't think it'll work that way. That's just what it sounds like. Also, I kind of skipped over it, but each of these gypsums have different colors, and that I don't think has any indication about its rarity. I think it simply is just to show where you got it from. If you're wondering, I didn't even notice that I got this amethyst gypsum. You can be like, oh, I probably got it from a breach cache that I just got a couple breaches ago and I didn't notice. So that is in case you were wondering. Moving on to item shards. So this is very exciting. Item shards are a new crafting ingredient that enables players to craft an item with a specific attribute bonus on it. So that's pretty standard. That's how you can do it now. Wait for it. While still being able to use a craft mod to guarantee a perk. Whew. All right, so that means you are going to have a much higher chance of crafting the best in slot gear now. But it does say that this is going to drop from expedition bosses and chests, like I said. But it's going to cost a lot to use them. So make sure that you actually save up a lot of crafting materials, asmodium, glittering ebony, all that stuff, whatever you're making, make sure to have a lot of it because it is going to be expensive, but you are going to have a much higher chance to craft some stuff that you actually want instead of, you know, intellect, maelstrom, sweeping maelstrom gear, like, I don't know, focus strength gear. That's not going to happen anymore. If you really want the best gear, you're going to be able to craft it. They finish off by saying that they discussed above, they've added gypsum to a variety of endgame activities, and this should make all those activities rewarding, which is nice. Since they will result in gear progression and one guaranteed drop, we felt that war and invasions were already rewarding enough and didn't want to increase the rewards from there to make them even more rewarding. So I think that's a good idea. Not everyone gets into wars and invasions even now, so I think they're already rewarding enough. I totally agree. They do finish off by saying that arena bosses also guarantee a bump, so make sure to get those orbs ready as well. And they are going to be getting the citron gypsum, so also additional rewards. Overall, looking really good to me. Moving on to the last final thing, difficulty adjustments. So this video is already really long. I'm trying to make it short and sweet. Sorry if I'm talking fast, but I'm actually pretty excited. So let me make this even faster than before, but let me just summarize it by saying that they already are addressing that they overtuned the enemies into the November patch. Everyone knew this. Merkguard, you are getting annihilated, right? You need some top-notch players in Merkgard. It's been overtuned. They addressed that. They do say, though, that they intend on finding a sweet middle ground between the easy endgame and the overtuned HP sponges. Quite the understatement. So they are trying to find a sweet spot in between those. They do say that these 66 elite landmarks are supposed to be really hard, requiring very good optimized gear and consumables. We're talking honing stones, we're talking corruption coatings for your weapon, we're talking trophies. They want you to have all that because this is supposed to be hard, which is pretty understandable, but it's too hard right now, and I'm glad they recognize that. It says that with these changes to expertise, players can progress their gear in a variety of ways before venturing to those endgame areas, which is proper, honestly. We've also modified 2 other areas. This is what I was talking about before. They added a little bit more content to our endgame, and by a little bit, I actually kind of mean a lot. They almost doubled it. So it says that the Malevolence Elite point of interest in Eden Grove was leveled up to 66 with 6 elite chests, and they finally, thank hallelujah, fixed the boss the other patch, so that's nice. All of this is going to provide a chance at expertise bumps, and the Imperial Palace and Northern Dynasty Shrine in Ebonscale Reach are also level 66 with 8 additional elite chests. So that is 14 more elite chests than we have right now, which is not double, but it's pretty damn close to double. Or at least as far as Shattered Mountains. This is pretty much Shattered Mountains 2.0 in Ebonscale, or yeah, in Ebonscale Reach. So they say here that they have 4 endgame territories now: Reekwater and Eden Grove, Shattered Mountains, and Ebonscale Reach. So this is great. Honestly, that's going to be it for the video. Of course, if you want to try all this stuff out, head over to the PTR. I'm going to have a separate video for the PTR covering that, so feel free to jump over to the channel. If you enjoyed the video, check out the channel, subscribe, like, you know what to do. I really appreciate it, and I hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all very soon.